Now with added factor.
Good evening and welcome to Hearts Live, the only programme on your telly devoted to bringing you all the news and interviews from Tynecastle. Each week we'll bring you the lowdown on all things Hearts, and joining me tonight is a man who needs no introduction, Hearts legend John Robertson. We'll hear from John in a moment, but first on Friday we gave you the chance to win £100 worth of vouchers from Olympus Sports. The question we asked was, which team did Paul Sturrock manage before Dundee United? The answer of course was St Johnstone. The winner of the vouchers is Alan Garden from Edinburgh. Well done Alan. Here's what's coming up on tonight's show. Hearts get sunk by United goal after ref gets it wrong. We speak to the new kid on the block. And Salvatore tells of the Italian job he still has to do. Well, again tonight we have another great competition for you to win. We have £100 of Marks & Spencer's vouchers to give away. These can be used at any Marks & Spencer store, and all you have to do to win is answer this simple question. Which team did Hearts beat in the quarter-finals of the Scottish League Cup? If you think that you know the answer, call us now on 06600 010 880. That's 06600 010 880. Calls will cost no more than 50p and lines will close at midnight. We'll pick a winner at random and let you know on Friday's show who the winner is. But first tonight into Tynecastle on Saturday, when Hearts took on a rejuvenated Dundee United since the arrival of Paul Sturrock. Both sets of fans arriving at the ground were confident that their respective teams could win it.
How it's going to go? Oh, we're going to win.
Going to win?
No problems.
What do you think the score's going to be, and who do you think is going to be the danger?
I think it'll be 2-1 for Hearts, and if Wanjo gets his game, he'll be the danger.
They've been under form, but this week we've got 7 days coming up that are very important, 3 victories hopefully, and that'll set us back on track.
I would think 2-1 would probably be the score today.
I think Billy Dodds be a bit of a headache for
He's always a pain to the Hearts. He's just one of these guys that scores goals everywhere he goes.
And who do you think is going to be a threat to the Heart
to Dundee United? Well, a lot of new guys coming in today, but look to see a bit from the guy Wanjo to see if maybe get something out of him today.
We'll beat them. We're up for it. Well, I would think that Billy Dodds must be the man.
4-0 United.
Who's going to score?
Billy Dodds.
No bother, 2-1 United, right? 2-0 up. They'll maybe get a goal back in the second half.
Well, the last time the two teams met was back in August when it finished 0-0 and Dundee United had Tommy McLean in charge. Since then, Paul Sturrock has taken over the reins, and under his guidance they've strung together some impressive performances. Last season it was 3 wins and a draw in this tie for Hearts, so the odds were in their favour. Veronica Cleary watched the game for Hearts Live.
Here we go again.
When Jeffrey slammed his men a week ago for lack of effort and commitment after a heavy defeat at the hands of Rangers, his battle cry didn't fall on deaf ears on Saturday. Both sides, Hearts and Dundee United, were savaged by injury, with vacancies from Hearts due to the absence of Neil McCann, Gary Naismith, Thomas Flogel and Gary Locke. Despite the weather, a crowd of nearly 13,500 packed themselves into Tynecastle Stadium. Within minutes after kick-off, Hearts were demonstrating the display of a year ago. Gary McSwegan was out to prove his worth and within minutes found himself at the goal mouth head-on with Seb Dykstra. Dundee United could not contain the Jambos, but luck was not on their side. This was acutely characterised with the denial of a blatant penalty when Katonga was brought down in the penalty box by D.L. Olofsson. Vincent Guerin, Salvatore and Stevie Fulton dominated the midfield in the first half, and Guerin's willingness to push up front brought untold misery to the Dundee United defence. Davy Weir, Gary McSwegan and Vincent Guerin all had chances to take the lead, but at half-time it finished 0-0. The second half saw an industrious Billy Dodds and a rejuvenated United defence who tried to capitalise on Lady Luck's absence from the Jambo side. With an hour on the clock, costly mistakes by Hearts were now catching up on them. Dundee United earned their first corner in the 59th minute. Dundee United were gaining ground. In the last 10 to 15 minutes was a nail-biting one for every Jambo in the house, but grit and resolve had its reward. And in the 85th minute, Alex Matty opened up his score account with a touch on the ball provided by Billy Dodds. The final score, Hearts 0, Dundee United 1.
Well, despite dominating the first half, Hearts sadly weren't able to convert their chances into goals, and the referee didn't help Hearts' cause either when he denied them a stonewall penalty. So it's not surprising it was two very different reactions from the managers when Veronica spoke to them both at the end of the game.
I think we did, had an apprehension in the team after our disappointment last Saturday. I think the players had an overconfidence in their performance last week that cost us dear. There was an apprehension in the team in the first half. I had a chat with them, and in the end, I'm just delighted they've taken on board the criticisms at half-time and went out and won the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, after last week's performance, I mean, we never played well as a team last week, but today we went out and we worked for each other. I think that was the main thing today. We worked very well as a team and overcame Hearts' pressure, and I thought we were the better side the second half.
Yeah, I don't think we deserve to lose all three points. We definitely deserve some of the game, but the reason we lost, we didn't get anything at the game through our own stupidity, and we got a warning in the last 10 minutes with two corners, which we allowed 3 headers, which Dundee United almost scored from, and we got away with it. You kind of keep presenting them with chances, and we did that in the last few minutes, and we got punished for it, but that was our fault. We had played some really good stuff the first half, moved the ball around, right, dominated it, had a couple of chances, didn't take them. Stonewall penalty, the referee should have done his job properly and awarded that penalty.
I think mid-dive, but I think it's definitely a penalty.
And how's the mood in the dressing room just now?
Yeah, everybody's disappointed. We think we win today because we've not been playing very good. Couple of games, no win for a couple of games, but it's football, need to work out every game. But we know concentration games Tuesday night be important for we win. For the supporters as well.
Well, firstly, John, thanks very much for joining me tonight.
No problem.
Now, Paul Ritchie will miss the game against Dundee after getting a one-match ban, and with all Jim Jeffries' other injury problems, do you think that's quite a blow for the team?
Well, to lose Paul Ritchie any time is a massive blow. He's been one of Hearts' most consistent players for the last 2 years, and it's no surprise he's nearly in the international setup, so it's a massive blow, but I think Jim's fortunate that he's got the likes of Dave McPherson to come in, or he could bring in Stephen Presley to the central defence alongside Davy Beer, so he's well covered, and although it's a big blow to lose Paul, I'm sure Hearts will get past it.
Do you think it's a disappointing result on Saturday, seeing as Hearts dominated so much of the game?
Well, I think Jim Jeffries said it all there. He asked for more commitment and more effort from his players, and he got that. Hearts at this moment in time don't seem to be getting the rub of the green in front of goals. You need that bit of luck now and again, and I watched the highlights of the game. There were a couple of shots deflected and stopped on the line. Dykstra made 3 or 4 great saves. It's just not going their way at the moment, but you've just got to keep going. I'm sure Jim will be delighted with the chances they're creating and the quality of football they're playing. They just need to try and get that wee bit of luck and take the points off teams.
Now, at this point last season, John, they were doing slightly better than they are at the moment. What do you put that down to?
No, I think it's down to expectation now. Hearts last year weren't much of a scalp. Teams were coming to Tynecastle and having a real go because they thought they could beat Hearts. They had a tremendous challenge for the league last year, finished third and very unlucky not to go all the way. They won the Scottish Cup, so teams are now coming to Tynecastle and sitting in and saying, well, we'll be quite happy to take a point from here. When Hearts travel away, they're doing the same thing there. So Hearts are the victims of their own success at the moment. There's no doubt about that. Teams are lying in wait for them. It's now a major scalp to take anything from Hearts. And we've seen this season already, both Dundee teams have came and sat in, and both have left with the points. It's something Hearts are going to have to get round, but I'm sure they will.
Now, if we take a look at the league table at the moment, John, do you think Jim Jeffries would like to be further up there than they are at the moment?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. 13 points from 11 games, especially after the super start and beating Rangers, is a scant reward for some of Hearts' play. I mean, Jim Jeffries is the first to admit that they haven't been firing on all cylinders, but they've been playing a lot better than people have been giving them credit for. And as we've said, teams are sitting in and making it harder. They're putting people on the likes of Stevie Fulton to stop him playing. They're without Colin Cameron, they're without Neil McCann, they're putting men on Stephen Adam, they're keeping an eye on Jim Hamilton. So the danger men are now getting snuffed out by the opposition. Hearts have got to work around that. It may be time for other members of the team to up their work rate and up their effort to try and help these other players out, but I'm sure Hearts will get there, there's no doubt about that. They're a quality team, they've got a very, very good squad, a very big squad filled with quality players, and it's only a matter of time before they get another win and then start their charge up the table.
OK, John, thanks for the moment. Well, the half-time whistle's gone, so it's time for John and I to have our half-time team talk. But be sure to join us in the second half when we'll hear from the rising star Derek Holmes and Stefano Salvatore.
We play and again Tuesday. I needed the support. I needed support to help all the time. I think so, no problem.
Beep.
I was nervous. I was really nervous. I was against Rangers. That was the team I supported as a boy. But it was unexpected as well. But when the gaffer asked me, I was delighted to play, and I was really nervous to begin with.
Well, John and I have had our pies and bovrils, so let's kick off the second half. It's hard to imagine that Paul Ritchie and Gary Neesmith are veterans in the current Hearts squad, but because of the quality of youngster that continues to come through the youth ranks at Tynecastle, that's just the way it is. One of the new kids in the block is Derek Holmes, who knows that if he can prove to Jim Jeffries he can produce the same sort of form as Ritchie and Neesmith, he'll get his chance.
One young heart that's not easy to forget is 18-year-old Derek Holmes. He's just one of the youth squad that succeeded in breaking through to the first team. Having scored 50 goals in 63 youth matches, he's making quite an impression.
Well, you obviously work with Peter Houston. Do you feel that he gives you quite a lot of encouragement?
Well, Peter's brilliant. Peter's a great laugh, brilliant for all the boys. He gives you a lot of encouragement. And I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. I love Peter. Peter's really good, aye.
Derek made his first team debut on May the 10th last year when Hearts beat Rangers 3-1. So what was it like to finally make that breakthrough?
I was nervous. I was really nervous. I was against Rangers. That was the team I supported as a boy. But it was unexpected as well. But when the gaffer asked me, I was delighted to play, and I was really nervous to begin with.
Do you find that Jim Jeffries and Billy Brown are quite good at giving people like yourself a chance to make it into the first team?
Oh, you can just see it the way the players have came through, like Gary Neesmith, Paul Ritchie, Gary Locke. He's gave everybody a chance, so he does look after his young players.
Both Gary Neesmith and Paul Ritchie made their way through to the first team after playing for Hearts youth teams. Derek says it's players like them that give young guys like him confidence that one day he'll make it too.
It gives you an incentive to get to the first team, and with this under-21 thing, it's going to give you even more of a chance, so you've just got to buckle down and hope he'll give you a chance, and then when he gives you the chance, you've just got to take it.
Ritchie and Neesmith may already have been in Derek Holmes' shoes, but how do the more experienced first-team players treat the younger guys like Holmes?
Oh, they're brilliant. They just treat you the same as anybody else. We're just like you go out and you have a laugh, they slag you, we slag each other back. We're just the same. They don't really treat anybody as an individual. Like I said, David Weir playing with Scotland, you just treat him, we slag him because he's a Scotland player and that, but everybody just gets treated the same.
Hearts seem to have the right mix between experience and youth, and that's something that gives the younger players confidence when they play in the first team.
Yeah, we've got to have the experienced players too, because if you've not got experience, the team will, you're going to places like Ibrox and Parkhead and you get a lot of you get nervous where the experienced players have played there. So it's for they encourage you as well, so you probably do need the experienced players as well as the youth players.
Well, putting you in the spot here, Derek, which player do you admire at the club?
Who do you admire? I like Davy Weir, Stevie Fulton. I like everybody. I admire everybody because we're such a good team. We're a good team, we're all pals, so I couldn't really pick one person.
At 18, Holmes has already made his first team debut, and in this season alone he scored 1 goal in the League Cup against Ross County and 1 in Europe against Lantana. So having achieved so much at such a young age, what ambitions does he now have?
My ambitions with Hearts now is just to play in the first team, just to get in the first team now, and hopefully I can maintain a place, and hopefully I can go on and play every game, and then just hopefully go on and play for Hearts first time and then play with my country, Scotland.
Well, John, do you see Derek Holmes as a youngster who could not be another star of the future?
There's absolutely no doubt about it at all. I played up front with him in the game. He made his debut and he was a real handful. I mean, he's a big lad, he's 6'2", 6'3", and he can score goals. He's very good in there, as you can imagine. Great touch, and probably the best thing that happened to Homer was when he went on loan. Craig Levine took him out to Cowdenbeath for 2-3 months, and it really got him used to playing first-team football, playing against really hardened pros, older boys who had maybe lost a bit of pace, but would sort him out, so to speak. And he came back all the wiser for it and went back into youth team football and reserve team football, done very, very well and fully justified his call-up.
Looking back at his debut, you said he was really nervous. Do you think it is a nerve-wracking experience for your first time at somewhere like Parkhead or Ibrox?
Everybody should be nervous. Even today, you ask people like myself and Davy Weir and Dave McPherson, before you go out on a park on a Saturday, you're still nervous. Obviously, your first match, as Derek has rightly said, you really are a bag of nerves. But he didn't show any nerves when he went to the park. He got out there, he threw himself about, knocked Richard Gough, etc. about the place and done very, very well. And the boy's a natural goal scorer and he'll do very, very well for Hearts' first team, and he can only, if he works hard, go on to bigger and better things for Hearts.
Hearts seem to be very good at discovering new talent. What would you put that down to?
They've got a very good youth setup. Joe Jordan started the first initial moves, although he wasn't there that long. They brought in Sandy Clark. Sandy Clark worked very, very hard with the youngsters like Gary Locke, Paul Ritchie, etc., and brought them on. And from there, it's really just been taken on. Jim Jeffries, Billy Brown came in and again worked very, very hard at it. Brought in Peter Houston. Peter Houston, as Derek rightly says, works really extremely hard with the boys, but he's also a friend, and it's a very funny job because not only is he coaching them, but he's also like a father figure to them. They come with their problems and they're a little bit, and he babysits them as well. And Peter does a fantastic job, but there's people, obviously scouts below that, and it's a system that Hearts work extremely hard at, and they're reaping the rewards.
OK, John, thanks for the moment. Well, while the French connection at Hearts has grown in recent weeks, the dressing room now only has the one Italian accent in it since the departure of Pasquale Bruno. Stefano Salvatore, though, says he's well settled at Tynecastle and is aiming for more silverware after last season's cup win. Veronica spoke to Stefano about life in the capital.
For me and for my family, a very good experience. Yes, I like to stay here because I come to Edinburgh. It's a beautiful city. Come to Hearts, it's a fantastic club. You know, have a good ambition for the future. Because I have too many young players have a good future.
Stefano Salvatore came to Hearts in 1996 from Atalanta in Italy. The player seized the day with an opportunity to move from Italian football to Scottish football as a result of the Bosman ruling. Since coming to Scotland, the 30-year-old has learned a lot from his contemporaries, and I got the feeling it was a relief to leave the Italian scene.
I learned the mentality. The mentality is very important. It was too different from in Italy. In Italy, too much stress, too difficult for the player. Too much stress for TV, interview for newspaper, because a lot business, football Italy, you know. I learned the atmosphere here. When I go for the whole family, all children go every Saturday for watch the game, just enjoying. Very good experience, good atmosphere. Very lucky, very lucky.
Stefano relishes the challenge of Scottish football and feels privileged to be part of a team that are now a force to be reckoned with. But he feels sad that the Edinburgh Derby is not on the menu this year.
I miss Edinburgh Derby. I miss him because for Edinburgh, for the Hearts supporters, very good. Because I remember new the Christmas time when I have the derby, fantastic, very, very good.
It was this atmosphere and the fans' attitude that he most enjoys about Hearts. Last year, support was vital in chasing the Old Firm all the way and of course winning the Scottish Cup. But for the Italian midfielder, it doesn't stop there.
Fantastic. When I walk with the bus and the Princess Street, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Really. I can't explain, you know, because I'm very, very happy. I have a lot of ambition. It's very difficult, you know. I know, look at the future. Very difficult. I want to win the league, I want to win the Scottish Cup. This is very, very difficult, you know. We try, we work hard. And this is very important. Professional, this is very important for going forward, no? For look at the future.
Well, he just might get the chance to win the League Cup as they are now in the semi-final on Tuesday to St Johnstone, and the Italian is full of confidence about the fixture.
I want to win, maybe we have a good chance at semi-final, you know, against St Johnstone. Tough game because we play Saturday, we play again Tuesday. I needed the support. I needed the support, the help all the time. I think so, no problem.
Well, John, Stefano seems to think that tomorrow's game won't be a difficult fixture. How do you see it going?
Well, I don't think it'll be as easy as he thinks. St Johnstone under Sandy Clark have had a very good run. They're scoring goals, they're confident, but I think when it comes to semi-finals and finals of late, Hearts have a tremendous record. Under Jim Jeffries, they've been to 3 finals, so they've obviously won the 3 semi-finals. So they like playing Easter Road Hearts. I think they'll go into the match with confidence, and if they get off to a good start, I can see Hearts going all the way. But it's going to be a very, very difficult 90 minutes. It may even go into extra time and penalties all the way, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Hearts will be in final number 4 in 4 years.
Okay, well, looking at Salvatore, what was he like to play with at Tynecastle?
Well, you've got, as we've mentioned earlier on, you've got quality players on the ball like Neil McCann, Stephen Adam, Colin Cameron and Stephen Fulton. Stefano's one of these players that you need in your team who will go and work hard to get the ball back for you. He'll take it off the opponents, he'll play simple 5-10 yard passes, and he'll cover other players when they go into the attacking positions, and it's vital. You know, a football team is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. There's all different parts, and Stefano is a big, big part of that midfield area.
Now, what's your prediction for tomorrow night's game, John? Putting you in the spot.
Well, as I've said before, it's going to be a very difficult match. It's in Edinburgh, and there should be a majority of crowd will be Hearts fans, and they've got a wee bit more experience. But Sandy's Clark team are playing well. I'm taking Hearts to win the match. It may go extra time, it may even go to penalties, but for me, Hearts are going to be heading back to another final. And
he's not going to give me a scoreline. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, John. Well, sadly, the full-time whistle has gone, but don't forget, we'll be back on Friday at the same time, 6:30, when we'll look back at tomorrow's League Cup semi-final game against St Johnstone, and a look ahead to the game against Dundee, along with all the usual features. In the meantime, my thanks to John for being my guest, and fingers crossed that Hearts tomorrow night can set up a replay of the Scottish Cup final. Remember, if you want to get to the heart of Tynecastle, then keep it with Hearts Live.
This is my story, this is my song. Follow the hearts and you can go wrong. No, some say the Rangers and Celtic